Hey everybody, welcome to another installment of Brad Cook Stuff. This week, I'm in the mood for meatloaf. Now, I've tried more than once on this channel to make a really good meatloaf with varying degrees of success, but this week, I think I might have the magic formula. First of all, I got a little bit of ground beef, not too much, and I've got all the ingredients that I need to make some really solid meatloaf. So, we are going to slow cook some meatloaf today, but not just any old meatloaf. We're going to make a cheesy taco meatloaf. All right, let's take a look at the ingredients and see what we're working with. Here are the ingredients for tonight's meatloaf. Of course, we start out with 2 packages of Kurage Wagyu. That's right. We've also got some breadcrumbs, eggs, shredded cheese, and a pack of hot and spicy taco seasoning and a pack of beefy onion soup mix. All right, let's go ahead and start mixing all of this stuff together. So first, we are going to put in these 2 packages of ground Kurage Wagyu. So this is just a little over 1 pound of beef. All right, so we'll break this up a little bit. All right. Next, we're going to put in some of this shredded cheese. In fact, I'm just going to put in all of this shredded cheese. Make this nice and cheesy. Next up is this package of beefy onion soup mix. There we go. Next, we have this package of taco seasoning mix. Next, we're going to pop in an egg. Here's where it gets messy. Next up, we're going to put in a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. And a generous helping of ketchup. Looks like I might just use the rest of this. All right, let's get this into the slow cooker. All right, let's go ahead and put this into the slow cooker. All right. Okay, that's all of it. Let's go ahead and get it into the actual cooker. All right, put this in here. Close her up. and set it on low. Now we just have to wait a few hours. I've had this in here for hours. I even turned the heat up to high, and I think it's about time to get this out. Well, that is a great deal of meatloaf. Let's go ahead and put some into a bowl and try it out. All right, moment of truth. I have here some experimental cheesy taco seasoned meatloaf. I have no idea if this is going to be any good, so let's give it a try and see how it tastes. That's actually really nice. The ketchup is fairly prominent. I can definitely taste the taco seasoning. Even though I put in that whole pouch of cheese, I'm not getting a strong cheese taste, but yeah, I think I can still tell that it's in there. Now, I cooked this on low, and it's a little soft. I'm still wondering if maybe I should have put this on high. My cooking mentor says the slow cooker might not be the best place to cook this, but I don't really have an oven, so there's not a whole bunch of places that I could do this aside from the microwave, which has not necessarily been the best place for me to make this. Anyway, let's try another one here. Now, it's definitely spicy. The hot and spicy taco seasoning, yeah, this gives it a nice little bit of heat. But soft as it may be, it's actually pretty good. So, meatloaf is one of those things that when I was a kid, my mother would make it, and I was always pleased. I liked meatloaf. If you watch on TV, people are always saying, oh, meatloaf again. I thought meatloaf was always really good, and I think it's the way my mom always made it. So, for me, meatloaf is a pretty good dish, and I'm trying to make something that's sort of close to the way that I used to eat when I was a kid. Was this hard to make? Not at all. I had a couple of packages of ground beef. I put in all the requisite ingredients, and this was the result. You know, you can always customize meatloaf as you like. I've tried a few different ways, but I actually like the spicy taco seasoning in this one. So, as it turns out, this is pretty good. Was it a complete success? I can't really say that. I'm still figuring out how to do a good meatloaf in the slow cooker, but as far as taste goes, this is pretty decent. Therefore, I can call this a qualified success. All right, so I got a little bit left here in the bowl since I've been eating it pretty much nonstop, and I got a whole bunch left that I can have later on. But, as always, appreciate you guys stopping in, and see you in the next video.